Dude, I think I should launch a startup. Dude. Like, what does it take? One, the idea, I will work on it. Two, the funds, I will get them. And three, boom, in the span of 2 months, in just 2 years, my startup will turn into a unicorn, dude. Just imagine. Bro, take a chill pill, bro. I think that's not how it exactly works. Bro, listen, the only idea is not enough. Then what else do we need? Mm, I don't know, bro. Hey guys, you're listening to Canopy Pod and we believe in delving deep into the unknown. This is Ashvik and let's talk about startups. Today we have Vasu, who is a computer science freshman at Delhi University. He is inclined over entrepreneurship and now owns two startups, and one of them has netted revenue about 1.5 lakhs within a span of 5 months. That's amazing. He loves to code and explore the world of online courses on self development and many other things. So, slipping into the podcast, Vasu, what according to you is a startup and what is your startup all about?
Hi there, Ashwik. So, talking about my startup journey and what I assume to be a startup. A startup is a word which signifies helping people. In this clusterous world where startups raising this much money, people getting this much funding, this creates sort of a havoc and a haphazard way of looking at startups. While in its true essential form, startup is nothing but helping people with a cause.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Going ahead, talking about my startup journey, uh, I own two different startups. One of them is called the SocialNet, and the other one is called Decode. SocialNet I started when I was in the 11th grade. It's basically a web app which allows people to connect in the school level. So students from grade 9 to grade 12 could connect over that platform. It's basically like a LinkedIn for students. And my second startup, Decode, it actually helps students aged 10 to 15 delve into the world of Android app development.
Mm-hmm.
This startup was started in the COVID-19 pandemic, and we netted a lot of money during that point of time.
Awesome. Yeah, great. So yeah, I think in India, every day like 3 to 4 startups are born. I hear this a lot actually, and there may be some reason behind launching the startup, right? So Vasu, how's been your journey? Like how it started and how is it going now?
Yeah, so although the cause for starting a startup is very pure, the process of going through an entire startup journey is tremendously difficult. So
Mm-hmm.
when I started up, it I didn't have this word of a startup or a business in my mind. I actually wanted to help people achieve something which they weren't able to achieve earlier. So that is how my first startup began. But when I move on to my second startup, I started that for a completely different reason. I wanted to earn some money to invest in stocks. So, although these are two completely different reasons to start a startup, I'm pretty sure the first reason to start a startup is actually the reason which people should think about and move forward with. Because whenever
Mm-hmm.
you think and move forward with startup with a money goal in mind, you'll never be able to achieve or become big. Because to be honest, in a startup, you don't earn money until you sell it off or you go public. Till that point, you're just under tremendous debt and tremendous pressure. So if you are going into the startup sphere with aim in mind that I want to earn a lot of money because it seems lucrative, it seems uh, so much funding is being pumped into these startups,
Mm-hmm.
the entrepreneurs must be rich. But all of that funding goes into the working of the startup. The actual entrepreneurs, the founders, the directors, they don't earn any bit of money. They don't even take a salary till the startup goes public. I mean, I'm pretty sure you must have heard about Dipinder Goyal, uh, who's one of the chief operating officers at Zomato. He
Mm-hmm.
hasn't taken a single paycheck till now.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
obviously, he doesn't live a rag life, but like the company pays for him, but he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't taken a single paycheck till now.
Mm.
So
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure he will once Zomato goes public, but still, that is the life of startup.
Okay, cool. Sounds cool. So, Vasu, I think every entrepreneur has a driving force. Like, there are many people who want money so that they could have the resources to change the world. So, what's your personal internal driving force? Is it like to buy some big, cool mansions, cars, and stuff, or something? Or like, what is your driving force?
Oh, earning money is far from the driving force that made me start up.
Mm-hmm.
My actual reasons were pretty different. I I tried to find a problem in the society, and I wanted to solve that out. That was the reason why I
Mm-hmm.
started up. I mean, in my second startup, Decode, where I wanted to give off Android app development teaching to people, I didn't actually I actually saw the problem in the society where where several companies were charging excruciating amount of money for one lesson. And what I was able to deliver was the same. For the same price that you would get one lesson in those companies, you could earn a whole course. So I was solving a problem. And in this process, I was earning money. So solving a problem was the driving force. And I would like to mention a small story where I differentiate between an entrepreneur and a businessman. An entrepreneur is someone who wants to help people, and a businessman is someone who wants to earn money.
Mm-hmm.
Mukesh Ambani is a businessman. He is business centric. And Ratan Tata, on the other hand, he is an entrepreneur. You can see that simply by the net worth of both these people. Tata earns so much money, but that guy, he gives it away because, again, at the end of the day, it's all about helping people.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Amazing. That's amazing. So, Vasu, I guess startups involves a lot of up and downs. As we know, Cred being a startup which was founded in 2018, I guess. Yes, it turned into a unicorn recently. And as the audience, as what we see, we don't see any losses they faced or any downs the startup faced. So basically, what were the problems you faced, and how was the experience of the failure?
Oh, failures are the most important part to reaching your goals as a startup.
Mm-hmm.
And many people see these failures and setbacks as cues to stop working on their idea. But that is just to mold you as a person and to mold your startup as a very strong idea. So, talking about my personal experience, uh, in my first startup, SocialNet, I was a complete beginner. I was nervous and I had no idea what to do. I Before even launching the product, I already had a team of close to 15 people ready to go. And that is the worst mistake anyone can make. Like, just imagine Apple getting 500,000 employees before they even launched the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
The growth is gradual, and that was one of the biggest failures I made. I already let so many people up key this product is going to be a hit, come on, work with me. But it didn't work out, and that is something we need to keep in mind. And not just that, I learned a lot of things from my first startup. A lot of things went haywire, but I didn't take that as a slap in the face. I learned from that, and that is how you grow as a person, and that is how your company grows too. So yeah, failures are really important. And talking about startups stopping due to failures, it's also because of one other reason. Starting up is tough because after a certain point of time, you may feel that your motivation or your drive to run that startup is dying out. And what do you do then? Those are the actual tests of your character as an entrepreneur. Those dark days, those downs, where you're thinking and feeling that this idea that you started, this brainchild is not actually helping you grow. Those are the days you need to power through. And for people who are starting up and for people who are in this process right now, I would just like to mention one small rule uh, that you can put into your startup so that you never fall out of interest with your idea. It's the rule of 4%. Try to grow yourself or your startup by 4% every month, because sometimes some ideas are so easy that you get bored out of them, and some ideas are so difficult that they seem unreachable. So when you have that idea of growing your startup and growing yourself by 4% every month, that will keep you motivated. When there is no scope of growth in yourself or in your startup, you're bound to move out, to move on. And yeah, if this rule is kept in mind with people, they will definitely move through and power through those downs and those failures.
Wow, wow, amazing, man. That was so inspiring. So, it's an out of the box question. Bro, what do you prefer to be? Like a journalist or a specialist?
Oh, I was a generalist from the day I was born. I don't
Awesome.
believe in being a specialist
Mm-hmm.
because this at this point of time, the only things and the only people who are specialists are robots. When you're a generalist, you have a good working, a good idea of several fields. You have that opportunity of being good in this field, that field, not the best, but good in certain fields. And that unique combination of the fields that you're good in makes you a unique product. I mean, being just good in front end development, there are a billion guys who are good in front end development. But are you indispensable? Are you unique to an extent that any company would love to have you? And that can only happen when you're a generalist, not a specialist.
Great, great. So yeah, I actually recently I went through your LinkedIn profile, and it seemed to be like you love to explore a lot of things online. Like you take up so many courses, like on Udemy and Coursera or many platforms. Like, how do you motivate yourself to take up so many online courses? And like, do you start the course and leave it in the middle or something like this, or you will complete the course and explore a lot of things?
Okay, so let me tell you both sides of the story.
Mhm.
When I was in the 11th and 12th grade, I used to stack up courses. I would take like 6, 7 courses, and I'll start them and they would never finish. And that made me feel sad. But that changed. That changed after I passed out from the 12th grade. And ever since, I've been doing a ton of courses and growing myself. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, again, as I told you, I'm a generalist. I want to know, I want to explore about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take courses just because it will add a skill set in my um, box
CV
of
or
tools.
something. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I don't do that for that reason. And that is why I never not finish my courses.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, when I used to stack up courses, I used to think, ki, ha, this course would be amazing for my resume. And that's why I used to take it. But nowadays, whenever I choose a course, I choose it out of pure interest. And even then, sometimes it may happen ki midway through the course, you're not just getting inspired by that. And I want to let people know ki even if you're uninspired by that course midway, just let it be. Don't take it as a contract कि तुम्हें ये खत्म करना ही है, because this is the reverse psychology of the brain. If you think you need to finish it, you will never finish it. If you want to finish it, you'll goddamn finish it. So that's the thing. I really want to finish those courses, learn the last chapter, and if that course isn't interesting enough to capture your attention span for the next month, don't do it. Don't bother doing it. Don't pressurize yourself. I never did, and yet I am able to complete so many of them. And yeah, that's it.
Fascinating, dude. That's awesome. I wish I could also do this thing. So yeah, I honestly believe that every single person on this earth should know how to run a business or how to run a startup. Like
Mhm.
I personally think I should learn like how to run this business and stuff. So what's your outlook on this? Like, should everyone get into this thing called startups and entrepreneurship?
uh okay, so I really think if everyone became an entrepreneur, the world would become a colossal mess. But the skills of an entrepreneur, the skills of a leader, these are certain things that one should have, because the world is so competitive in this phase right now. Ki if you are not a leader, you'll just fall behind. Again, as I told about the robot and the man definition,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you don't have those skills, because these are skills that cannot be taken by robots. Leadership cannot be taken by robots,
exactly,
at least until
exactly.
now.
Yeah,
But yeah, so if these are skills that you own, even if you're an entrepreneur, even if you're not an entrepreneur, it does not matter, because these skills will help you grow at whatever field you are in. And secondly, I also believe that there's one skill that everyone should know, any field it may be,
mm-hmm.
and that skill is sales. Because at the end of the day, if you can't sell, you will fall back. And I'm not just telling about selling stuff, I'm talking about selling yourself as a person too. I mean, if you don't know how to sell yourself to HRs and to recruiters, you'll be the guy at the back of the line who knows everything, but just because he couldn't sell himself, just passed out on several opportunities. So even if you're an entrepreneur who's trying to sell his company to venture capitalists, or you're a guy who's trying to get a job at Apple, if you don't know how to sell yourself, you will fail in life. So if there's one thing I could recommend people, is to learn sales. And there's this really good book this book inspired the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. So just read this book by Jordan Belfort and you'll understand the importance of sales.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, man. Awesome. So, Vasu, thank you. Thanks for joining in, and it was awesome having you here. We got to learn so much. It was indeed insightful. Thank you for joining.
Likewise, Ashwik, I really enjoyed being at your podcast too. And to all the listeners, if I could just say one thing, try to grow every day. Try to become better than yesterday, even if it's today you made your bed and yesterday you didn't. Such small improvements could improve your life by a much greater extent than you can ever imagine. So that's it on my part. Thank you.